Hi there, Andrew Bosserman here. As a former IRS agent and current tax attorney, I've seen firsthand how small oversights can lead to major consequences down the line. Today, in this video, I want to talk to you about something that can protect you from exactly that, those major consequences. And those two things are checking your IRS transcripts regularly and reviewing your bank statements. These two simple actions can help you avoid costly mistakes and in some cases maybe even get money back from the IRS. So let me share a real life story that highlights why these two steps are so important. So a while back, a CPA named Albert reached out to me after I helped resolve a tax issue for one of his clients. Albert was trying to help one of his friends named John, who owned a manufacturing business. John had paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in IRS penalties due to mistakes made by his former CPA. Unfortunately, those penalties just weren't for a year or two. They spanned multiple years, more than 5 years. Now, under normal circumstances and tax law, the IRS holds the taxpayer, so in this case, John, the owner of the manufacturing business, ultimately responsible for penalties, even if it was the CPA's mistake. But in John's case, the facts were different. His former CPA had been dealing with a terminal illness and unfortunately had failed to file John's payroll taxes on time and also made late tax payments. But the worst part of all of this was that the CPA never told John about the problem and continued assuring him that everything was fine during their regular meetings to go over the financials. After the CPA passed away, John hired Albert to take over as a CPA. But when Albert started going through all the records, he discovered a nightmare. There was disorganized paperwork and records showing that John's company had been slapped with hundreds of thousands of dollars in payroll tax penalties. Albert did what any good CPA would do. He pulled John's IRS transcripts to get a clear picture of the situation. And this is where the importance of regular IRS transcript checks come in. By reviewing John's IRS transcripts, Albert was able to uncover the full extent of the penalties because the records from the prior CPA were completely disorganized and a mess. This allowed Albert to file missing returns, pay the taxes owed, and request abatement or refund of the penalties. Unfortunately, the IRS initially rejected some of these requests, but Albert didn't give up. That's when he reached out to me. So I filed formal claims for abatement and refund of the penalties. While those were also denied at first, we didn't just stop there or back down. We filed formal appeals and eventually got a meeting with an IRS appeals officer for some of the claims. Here's another pro tip. Sometimes it's beneficial for the client to attend a meeting with the IRS or IRS appeals in person. There's a lot of tax attorneys or people who represent taxpayers out there saying you as a business owner should never meet with the IRS, but in some situations it might be beneficial. I brought John and Albert with me to the meeting with the appeals officer, and I made sure to explain the full situation, how John was misled and taken advantage of by his former CPA. And you know what? The IRS appeals officer agreed with us and recommended full penalty abatement for the two claims that were the part of this appeal. So while this case isn't fully wrapped up yet, things are looking really good for John to receive a decent refund. This story highlights just how important it is to regularly check your IRS transcripts and keep an eye on your financial records, such as bank statements. You never know when you could uncover a costly mistake or an overpayment that could lead to refunds or penalty relief. The second crucial action, in addition to reviewing your IRS transcripts regularly, is to review your bank statements regularly. Why? Because many taxpayers often miss discrepancy or errors in their financial transactions, which can lead to missed deductions or even overpaid taxes. Bank statements also help you spot mistakes or issues with business-related payments, including payroll taxes. And in this instance, John may have been able to discover extra money taken out of his account by his former CPA to pay penalties and interest on those late filed and late paid taxes. So whether you're dealing with payroll taxes, penalties, or just want to make sure everything's in order, checking your IRS transcripts and doing your bank statements regularly can prevent future issues. And if things do go wrong, don't hesitate to reach out to a tax professional like me who can help you navigate the complex IRS system. So thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more tips on navigating the world of taxes as a business owner. And if you're facing an issue with the IRS or just have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help.